for a very quick break, and this is just to show you a clip of the demolition of Saraki's ancestral home called Arugbo in Ilorin last week Thursday by the Kwara State government. Just stay with us. Watch this. I'll be right back.
Of the Sarakis, that even if the government wants to use this land, if the Sarakis are properly approached, they can even donate it to government. The land can be donated to government. You know Saraki very well. Our leader, Bukola Saraki, is following his footsteps of the father. He can donate the land for the use of government instead of making this issue as if they have stolen the land. I think this is not good enough. I want to advise that government should take things easy. It is not necessary.
What happened yesterday was so sad because what the Abrasak do for us is not good at all. We are all here as we are expecting, as they are told us that they want to collapse Arugbo, and we are here wait for them. We and those our people that are outside, they come here. All the youths, we are here, so we are expecting them to come. So when the time is like 10, my master, that's my Ogasha, tell me to go and hang and somewhere.
All right, welcome. That was an eyewitness, actually an occupant of what used to be Arugbo, telling us what really did happen on that fateful day, and also the chairman of the PDP in Kwara State, Kola Shitu, reacting to that particular demolition exercise. Prior to the demolition of Arugbo, which, like I said earlier, is owned by Olushola Saraki, late Olushola Saraki, that is the father of former Senate President Bukola Saraki. The Kwara State government did say the land rightfully belongs to the state government and was not owned by the Saraki family, as earlier insinuated. He did say it was meant for the building of secretariat just before the house was demolished. And also we saw protests with women, old women, holding vigil just to stop the particular demolition, but it still went on as planned by the state government. Arugbo was owned by the father of Saraki, that is the former Senate President, and it is a place where he used to host his usually old women and also young women, and also his political supporters. It is also a place where he gave arms, also distributed other dividends of democracy to his constituents. And after his death, the former Senate President also took over and was doing same in that particular home. Now it has been demolished, and we are seeing reactions as expected and counter reactions, with the former Senate President saying what the governor of the state is doing is try to erase completely the legacy of his father. What's your own view to that?
What has happened in Kwara, to me, is just politics. That's where I see it. Because I come to close with, you say, war is politics, and politics is war. You understand? So that politics is an extension of war. And the Nigerian politics, like President Obalojo once said, he said it's a do or die affair. And the incumbent president also once threatened President Jonathan that if a particular election did not go the way he wanted it, it will be a fight between the baboons and the dog. You understand? So, but that is not the ideal way to practice politics. You understand? Because people like Aristotle said that politics is the best thing that has ever happened to mankind. You know, I just want to say that everything is a means to an end. That politics itself is the only thing which is an end in itself. Why? Because politics is something that should be done for the benefit of the people. You understand? That is the idea of politics. But some people also argue with you that Aristotle was a political philosopher, he was not a political scientist. So we now come back to the grandfather of politics, which is Machiavelli, who said that the end justifies the means. But to be specific on Kwara, you see, that property in law had a C of O. So before the demolition of that property, the Kwara State House of Assembly had to revoke the C of O to that property. You understand? But when Bemi was talking, I now look at another angle. She's made a statement that, look, that property, you know, that Arugbo, that it is not a block of flats where the Saraki family is making money for. Yeah. They are not making any pecuniary interest from the existence of that property. But other people also say that they are gaining political capital from the property. Well, that's where their late father and Dr. Bukola himself used to distribute things, you know, to their supporters. You understand? So there's also a political mileage for the existence of that property. But Kwara State, I did my GC in Kwara. Kwara is not really a rich, you know, it's not really a rich state. You understand? Going all the way to demolish the property, I don't think it is really worth it.
All right.
You see, having revoked the CFO, you can quit them.
That was enough.
It's enough. You can quit them. You understand? Because they say they want to build an extension of the clinic of the secretariat.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you go back as lawyers, we can raise issues in law. For example, we have what is called lackeys and acquiescence. If I take over your property and you slept on your right, after a certain number of years, you cannot come and drive me away from that property. And people also make allusion to the fact that that property had been there even during military regime.
Yeah, don't forget that you said that.
Okay, but let me just round off. You see, so, but incidentally, I won't forget this thing that happened in history. During the Russian Revolution, some people did not really take it seriously. But when they heard that the entire family of the Russian Tsar had been killed, they now said, this is the point of no return. So the Otoge Revolution started in Kwara, that see the removal of Bukola Saraki. You understand? Yes. But the Saraki dynasty is not dead. Bemi today is a serving minister under the APC administration and is very, very angry with the government.
This party, yes.
You understand? So the Saraki dynasty is still alive.
Okay, all right. Well, many are saying this particular demolition is a strong message to former Senate President Bukola Saraki. Well, his sister, who is also a member of the ruling All Progressives Congress, like he rightly said, is kicking against this particular demolition, which to her is one of the legacies of the Saraki. If you live in Ilorin and you don't know that place, then I wonder what part of Ilorin you lived in. Okay, so what's your take in all of this?
Well, we are discussing democracy and the rule of law.
Yeah.
Let us put politics aside.
Very well.
The first question is, has Governor Abdurrahman followed the laid down rules for revocation of a right of occupancy? Now, the Land Use Act is very clear on when the governor can revoke a particular property, whether a statutory or customary right of occupancy. Section 28 specifically provides for revocation. The procedure to be followed are laid down in that section. Now, having revoked it, Section 29 provides for compensation, because you cannot revoke and not compensate.
Okay.
The question is, assuming that the governor has justified himself having the right of revocation, has he also justified himself in adequately compensating the people that were displaced? Let us leave politics aside.
Okay.
Now, Section 25 says, Section 29 says that compensation must be adequate. Now, these are old people being taken care of by a philanthropist family. And whether it has political intonation or not, these people have their own fundamental human rights to be respected by law. Waking up 3 a.m. to displace these people and not making alternative provision for them is a total violation of the rule of law. It's a total encroachment on their rights, to their fundamental human right as guaranteed by the Constitution. Now, because of political sentiment, you are now displacing people and not providing alternative for them. I think that is very callous of the governor. I'm sorry to say that. But his action is condemnable both in law and in the spirit of politics in this democratic era. It's quite unfortunate.
All right. Well, you recall that the Kwara State government did give reason why this particular property was demolished. He said this particular property belongs to the state government. Is that not enough reason to you?
Well, the Land Use Act, it says that the governor has the right to acquire any property for the benefit of the people, for overriding public interest. So whether he gives reason for what he has done or not, nobody is faulting his reason. But the way and manner in which the implementation was done is not legally followed. Nobody is saying the civil service clinics should not be extended. Okay. Nobody is dragging the property with him, being the governor of the state, and then being empowered by Section 1 of the Land Use Act that he has the power to hold those properties in trust and for the benefit of the general public. But where you are revoking on overriding public interest, you must also provide an alternative for the people you are displacing.
All right. Your points have been noted. Barrister Daramoye, well, last month, the governor of the state revoked the property, laying claims that it was illegally acquired. He also said this particular property is for the benefit of a majority of Kwara residents. But like Barrister Samuel did say, some people are actually occupying the particular property before it was demolished. Now their shelter has been demolished, so to say. What is the respite for them? What is your own take in all of this?
The whole issue is a very complex one. I disagree with my friend.
Huh?
You cannot divorce the issue of rule of law from politics. They are interwoven. And what is going on in Kwara, undoubtedly, unequivocally, is nothing but political war of attrition. Saraki dynasty has been in Kwara for a very long time. and it has ruled Ilorin and beyond Ilorin to all the environs, including Kogi State. I said Kogi State. I'm a part of present Kogi State. And Saraki has loomed large rather than life during his lifetime. And presently, because of his
son
contribution,
okay.
I'm talking of the
late Saraki.
Yes,
Olusola Saraki.
To the extent that people fell in love with him. Now what happened to Adedibu in Ibadan? He was the crown, definitely. The hands will follow. So that has been the issue in Kwara State. And the power even have been used many times to the interest, disinterest of some people. And they believe it is time when the other army opposition, because in Saraki's lifetime, it was quite difficult to overthrow a sovereignty, very, very difficult. Now that he has left and his son, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has taken ascendancy of his political office. That one apart, but the point I want us to hold is that the issue of politics. Now, I've carefully listened to the governor. In this issue, when you are trying to follow law, as far as Land Use Act remains today, every governor is a dictator as far as land issue is concerned. And I listened carefully to the governor, forget about the issue of House of Assembly renouncing the something. I think that's bad.
Okay.
My own view is that under the Land Use Act, you must send a letter. The governor, at any material time, has overriding our power, supreme power, to revoke certificate of occupancy at any material time, hinging it on the fact of overriding public interest. Or you want to build railway, you want to do certain kind of things. And I think that's a defect in itself in that very particular law. And even that law as it remains is very, very difficult to amend. You understand? Now, I learned the requirement for revocation of a title deed. You will send a notice to the people. If it's a company, you send a notice to the secretary. If you don't meet him, you hang it there, which is not good enough. You understand? Once, and then you state the purpose. There are plethora of authority for which you want to use it. Even forgetting the very fact that the land was illegally acquired. The power of the governor as of today to acquire any property is overwhelming. But the problem is, in this part of Africa, do we need such law? And this Saraki issue is one of the reasons, I believe in the rule of law very, very well. It's one of the reasons why that law should be reviewed to accommodate the interests of the people. Right. Because when we are talking about leadership, essence of leadership is the people. The moment, what my learned friends have said, in Arugbo over there, I have seen a lot of videos. In fact, some people were causing the governor. You understand? They said they don't have anybody that cares for them. You know, that it is that place, even though I see it as an extension of poverty, at any rate, what government is supposed to be doing, and they are shirking their responsibility.
All right.
Why that we are? Because of the mass poverty. That is why we are having that kind of...
moving on. What options are available to the Saraki?
No, they are upset.
Okay.
In fact, that is the ultimate quite right. They have gone to court. The court is there. to remedy. He mentioned something which is very fundamental.
Okay.
The issue of compensation. Even though the law itself is very weak there too. Because when you want to compensate, not the value, excessive value. You understand? So, I'm of the view, personally, that let's see what will come out of
the
court.
court, yeah.
Because out of jurisprudential expediency, the issue of the position of rule of law might be overturned.
All right. Okay, to wrap up the show, our time is almost spent. In just a few seconds, do you think this move is signaling the end of this Saraki's dynasty? You did mention that, or somebody mentioned that his sister is a member, but how strong and can she actually hold sway?
It is difficult to dislodge the past in any setting. You go back in time. You understand? According to the French, the more things change, the more they remain the same. The Saraki dynasty cannot be dislodged overnight.
Just like that.
It cannot be. Look at it. Even to remove Dr. Bukola Saraki, they had to bring in the sister, Beni, who is now a Minister of State for Transportation under this very administration. So the Saraki family is still powerful. They can easily get another land in Ilorin and build another Arugbo. For all I know, they have the resources to do that, which I think they will do. They will do that. So like I said from the beginning, what happened in Kwara State is politics.
All right.
If we say it's rule of law, the rule of law thing is just a diversion.
Okay. Barrister Ahmed, what do you think?
Well, Bukola Saraki, Dr. Bukola Saraki has already said it all. He said that justice will take its course. Whether the governor of Kwara State has acted legally or not, whatever intention that he has in doing this and causing pains to these old women, surely justice will take its course.
All right, and finally,
I will just wrap it up. The words of Bob Marley, time will tell.
Time will tell, and also the court will make its pronouncement, and from there we'll know what's next.